This is my third day on juice and kombucha only, and I'm feeling really good. I feel like maybe I have an allergy to some of the food that I've been eating on a consistent basis. But last night I actually felt really crappy. Though during the day when I was at the park making videos, I felt really good. So I think I'm just rediscovering and learning about myself when it comes to hormones, when it comes to how people around me make me feel, or different combinations of people, places, times. Today it feels fascinating. Yesterday I felt like I can't be around people, I have to get out of the house now, and I went to the park and I was good. And then I went back home and I felt like I can't be around people, so I went to Walmart. So yeah, 3 days, 2.5 days on kombucha and carrot juice and juice. I've been doing juice only and kombucha only the last couple days, so I just grabbed a few juices from Booster Juice to keep it going because I didn't have any carrots to make carrot juice. So we'll see what happens and how long this lasts, because I'm feeling pretty good today. Yesterday in the afternoon I was feeling quite awful, so we'll see how it goes. And today I'm feeling good. And I had energy and I was being creative. I set up my Square reader a little better. I put it as Synchronicity Wellness, and now I carry it with me as a prompt to see where I might be able to use it. And I started creating a Synchronicity Wellness brochure. I fixed the podcast link on my blog to actually sync up with my SoundCloud. And I created a blog post with the Zendo project training video and manual, and I put a sticker on my car. I got gas, I got more carrots and ginger for making juice tomorrow. I got 3 juices at Booster Juice because I didn't have anything to make juice and I wanted to go out. I did forget my iPhone charging cord, so I can't sit and do stuff on my phone unlimitedly because I could run out of battery, and then I wouldn't be able to sing on the drive home, and that would be tragic. And I bought a song, Automatic Flowers by Our Lady Peace, and added it to my singing playlist along with Superman's Dead, which I already had. So I'm noticing that there are states where I can get a lot done, just one thing after another, and then sometimes I feel like I can barely move, and just waiting for that sensation to pass and wait for the next wave of creative action without premeditation. And I have a big long list of things to do that I made while I was still in California, and I just looked at it now and it says throw a coming off party. So I think I'm going to throw myself a coming off party when it's the 9-month mark off meds in mid-February. And I had some coffee today, unlike yesterday. I just signed up for a Pancha Mama webinar on September 13th called Building a Better Reality. And then in the email, they sent me a link to get a guide called Dream Shifting 101, and I'm reading through it, and it's really cool. They're talking a little bit about shamanism, not just in indigenous cultures, but he's saying his favorite definition of shaman is a man or a woman who journeys into other worlds in order to obtain power, energy, and wisdom to create change in this world. That is a great definition. That could be the same for people who go into non-ordinary states of consciousness non-volitionally, or involuntary psychedelic experiences. We're journeying into other worlds to gather energy, wisdom, and information in order to create change in this world. And when it's interpreted as a personal mental illness and then it's turned into a personal problem for the rest of life, then that basic aspect of harvesting energy and information and wisdom to change this world is lost. This is a really cool guide. Dream Shifting 101 by Pancha Mama Alliance. And I'm trying to get my Pinterest and Flickr account going again, having all these ways of sharing stuff quickly and seeing what happens. It's designing a sharing superhumanic life, a life destabilized in ecstasis. I'm parked on the side of the road because I want to finish this video before I go home. I've been making random clips throughout the day, and I'm thinking this might be a good way to make videos in the future. Not so much sitting down and talking about stuff that I've written down, but talking about what I'm doing during the day to show more of what shamania is like, living as a manic shaman. And not the state of mania, but bringing that energy into life, daily life, and how it directs daily life. And I thought of what is driving our life. Is it universal energy or the personal self or ego? And today I felt really different. I don't know if it's because it's the third day of being on kombucha and juice only. I do have to be a little bit wary for sure because I don't want to get too high. And yet I'm finding that the days feel really long and they feel really energetic and creative. And there's a process I do to keep track of the day, which is make a note in my iPhone notepad for the day and just write down the things that I need to do when I get back home, and some things I might have to look up on the internet, some things that I might need to put in my calendar, things that I need to do. And when I was driving home, there was an overpass over the highway of a certain street or road, and on the big cement part that holds it up in the middle of the highway, at the last second something caught my eye, and somebody had written in big chalk letters, I think, "The film Earthlings changed my life." And I immediately got goosebumps, and it was just such a cool, magical thing to see that someone did. And the film Earthlings changed my life. I watched it probably 8 years ago, shortly after I became a vegetarian, and I was glad that I decided already to become a vegetarian because it was very graphic and disturbing. And had I not decided yet to be vegetarian, I'm pretty sure I would have decided after watching the movie, because it is really profound. And yeah, it kind of weirds me out to see people trying to save a duck or watching someone save a duck on YouTube or something, and then at the same time they go home and eat chicken. And they're thinking, oh, that's so sweet, someone rescued a duck, I'm just going to eat this chicken. People don't really put that together. That's my judgmental thing of the day. And it's not really judgmental per se, but it is an observation. And yeah, so today I felt like I lived in a creative way, and I have more things to do when I get home, like continue reading that Dream Something 101 that I was reading. And yeah, maybe I'll make these short clips throughout the day like I did today, and just talk about what I'm creating and show how I'm living. And I'm on my third booster juice, and I did buy more carrots and ginger, and I have celery and spinach to make some juice tomorrow. And I am doing a 5K run on Saturday, so I don't know if I would do juice only that day, unless I decide to walk. So today has been a wonderful day, full of the magic of flow. I drove into town. It takes about 40 minutes, but I use that as my singing time. And my voice is a little funny from being sick. And yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I really want to talk about today. Nothing profound and everything profound at the same time. I really feel like I'm learning about this energy, and it's kind of whispering its secrets a little bit. I don't know what that means. but it was something very subtle. And maybe next time I hear that whisper, I can say something about it. And it's not a voice, it's a subtle perception of how things are working, how things work. That's all for now. Oh, and today's theme song was Ace of Base, The Sign. And this is my outfit of the day. It's a little more colorful. Last thing I want to talk about with myself is that event on September 13th, put on by the Pachamama Alliance, is called the Perception Bridge, Building a Better Reality. So this word perception is coming up. And in the document they sent called Dream Shifting 101, there's a quote that resonated with me because I think yesterday when I was making videos, I mentioned that I feel like our core is all the same. And then in the document it says, shamans say that our core self, also known as our divine self, is infinite and immortal. It has lived many lives. We are all connected to each other, and therefore our understanding of that core self is helpful in creating our dream for the world. I love that, creating our dream for the world. This Dream Shifting 101 document really, really resonates with me. I love it. And it talked about how Indigenous people see themselves as a collective, not individuals, because they all impact each other. And another quote from the document is, apply energy to your dream. And that's what I feel like I need to do now in my daily life. And that's what it's felt like these last few days. And then after I wrote this quote down, so I could talk to myself about it, I wrote to myself, just live in this way. Don't talk about it. Others are talking about it, so you can live as it. And then it made me feel like my dream in a way is lifestyle design, where one can live in constant flow like one might in that state of shamania. Because other ways of being are reacting to solving problems, and this way is creating the dream, applying energy to one's dream. And one can look back and harvest that state to see how one might apply energy to one's dream in daily life, and then that builds the dream. Because I might say, oh, my dream world is to have respite for people, safe space to go through these experiences, or it could be to design a life where one is always moving and flowing in that state, and it doesn't overflow because one is living a mundane life. And then these elements come into consciousness to remind us how things really work in the world. And then in that case, we need respite to rest because it's become overwhelming. What if we're able to go with that flow moment to moment, day by day? What kind of life does that design? So can I design a life in that flow and share it so others can do the same? And this is something that I can create. Right now I don't have the power, the finances, the people to build a respite and build this big center, but I can design my life. That's within my power to do. Can I design a life where this energy doesn't have a chance to make us need respite? And the document Dream Shifting 101 also mentioned our collective dream for the world. So I don't know if my dream would be everyone living the mundane life, then a lot of people needing respite because they're having these involuntary psychedelic experiences and non-volitional altered states of consciousness as a reaction to the problem of the way that we live our lives. So what if the way that we live our lives is in alignment, so then there's no reaction to how we're living our life? No energy coming in and saying, remember this dream you had, remember all this and that. And then I've thought about writing a book or something, but maybe the book can be my daily life and how I live it. And maybe that's part of this next harvest, is harvest the day. If I'm living in a state of shamania, shamanism mixed with mania or energy, perhaps harvesting the day and what I create day by day, and perhaps I'm done looking back at that old state, but making videos of being in that state. And it might be challenging to maintain, I don't know. And Krishnamurti talks about a totally different way of living. So can I live totally differently and share that day by day? And perhaps that's the new dialogue, is a daily dialogue of harvesting the day. And another quote from the Dream Shifting 101 document is, we are air and we are probability of energy. So living in that superhumanic state, living in shamania, which is shamanic. So this dream shifting document is in alignment with everything I've been talking about. And the great thing is that people are creating these wonderful linear documents, and I'm not able to do that linear thing. So can I design a life of non-linear sharing, moment to moment, and move in that way of living and not talking about it, but sharing, living as it? And I don't know. Maybe that'll change tomorrow. Maybe I'll forget. I do forget. Can I design in sharing so much that I won't forget to share? We don't have to look back. We don't have to look back. This was definitely a day in superhumanic state, in shamania, shamanic. Just live it. Don't forget to live it. Forget everything and live it.